I dropped you right in front of the Nine Worlds Tavern. Best stock beer in the city. Not a bad place to ask around if you want to find one of the locals. Let me park the jet and you can find me at the tavern later when you're ready for another hop.
Panzerworks finally reached their breaking point.
Not now, friend. We are discussing the crisis. The Panzerworks factory has erupted into a riot and the violence is spreading.
What's the situation right now?
The city's under martial law, but the attacks on Seekers continue.
The WTO and Order have long been at odds. Why the sudden flare-up in Trier?
We've been trying to persuade Panzerworks to stop polluting this region and restore to nature what is rightfully hers.
But don't the locals depend on the factory for jobs?
We can have jobs and sustainability at the same time. We tried to make this point in our peaceful protests according to Luminon Saman's orders.
Didn't these protests end up shutting down the factory several times?
Some machines were damaged, but no living beings were harmed.
Still, vandalism's a crime, right?
Only if preceded by an impure motivation. However, since Saman's tactics were not working, Her Holiness came to Trier to try and reach some form of truce. Now we have no idea where she is.
Really? Maybe I should look into this.
Her Holiness comes to Trier to make peace, and her gesture is answered with rioting.
Panzerworks did not take kindly to our efforts to open their eyes to the harm they are causing the Earth.
What can we do? I worry for the safety.
The Nine Worlds is a no-weapon zone, strictly enforced since the riots.
So you want me to disarm in the middle of a war zone?
No, you've just got to consent to the standard deactivation procedure before entry. I'll transmit the encrypted safety lock bytecode, which will effectively freeze all your weapons. Sensors at the exit will automatically reactivate everything you're carrying when you leave.
Here you go.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on in.
Time again for a talk!
Alex D. A welcome encounter.
How's the search coming?
I've made some discoveries. I think I'm finally in the right place.
What's the passenger's name?
My instructions forbid me to say.
Maybe I could help if I knew who it was.
You've been very helpful already. My computer analyzed the transceiver in your temporal bone and found some interesting data files.
Those are encrypted files.
I found the key some time ago. I will be using your eyes and ears to gather more data. As compensation, if you need a pilot for any reason, I will be available.
I don't like being spied on.
Your notions of privacy are old-fashioned. It was a love of privacy that brought on the collapse. A love of secrets, plans, and personal possessions.
I still don't like being spied on.
Perhaps I'm too aggressive, but a society in which everyone understands everyone else is something I think we all should strive for.
How about I bug your chopper and make this learning process go both ways?
Very soon we will be connected. A great advance will change what it means to be human, and there will be no further need to conceal information. But that world is not yet here. My chopper is ready when you are.
I'll check back.
Alex D., you're the last one to arrive. I suppose that, like the others, you're after my laboratory in the gateway to J.C. Denton.
You're Tracer Tong.
I see that Dr. Nassif didn't exaggerate about your mental acuity. Yes, I'm Tong. I suppose you will be wanting some answers. You may have already guessed that your true name is Alex Denton.
Dr. Nassif was telling the truth. I'm a clone of J.C. Denton.
With a few postnatal recombinations, yes, but our work has moved away from clones.
So this gateway, I can use it to find J.C. Denton?
Yes. Beneath the ruins of the Black Gate, JC constructed a portal to his secret base in Antarctica. Only descendants of the Denton cell line can go through. However, the facility is already in the hands of the Templars.
Did the Templars use the portal? How could they unless one of the other trainees...
Unless the Templars have already convinced one of you to go through the gate and murder JC. Exactly. At a minimum, they have a highly placed spy who has torn apart our organization, starting with Chicago.
What else do you know about this spy?
Whoever it is also helped the Templars kidnap Her Holiness during a meeting with the Panzerworks Union. They are holding her at the Blackgate Laboratory. I'm going to give you a code to a secret entrance, which is in a room on the second floor of the East Tower, 2521. Look for a keypad hidden behind some crates.
For all you know, I'm a Templar myself.
Then Apostle Corps has already lost everything. Rescue Her Holiness. Save the summit for the sake of both factions. They will help you against the Templars. You will need the help of the WTO and Order just a little while longer.
I understand.
Here's something to give you an edge. A biomod infusion. It isn't much, but it's all I managed to grab on my way out of the laboratory. The time is coming when you will have to choose sides, Alex.
How is it going?
May you be shielded from chaos.
Strangers welcome. Just don't make any speeches.
Already tossed back a few pints. May I say that I approve of your itinerary so far?
Glad you're enjoying yourself.
Tell you what, I'll give you the Sloshed Flyer special. Any local hops you need during the next 24 hours, just 50% more than my usual rate. You can't beat that.
I guess that's a fair price. Here you go.
Where does Milady want to fly?
Stay right here. I'll let you know.
Ready to fly?
Stay right here.
You sure you're locked up?
No, Guevara has been in my family for 3 generations. I've been locking up since I was a boy.
I told you, those weapon mods are stolen. They don't belong in a display case on the side of the road.
A member of the Order. Are you with the Summit?
Certainly not. I live here in Trier. Seekers here don't care very much for this notion of a summit.
Why not?
We have heard Luminon Simon's call for a return to Scripture. In this shard, we read the Scripture, the original word of Her Holiness, not what she says for the camera today or tomorrow or 2 weeks ago.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? That's exactly the attitude that opens the door to tyranny in a free state, remembering only what was said on the last talk show. What's the value of a free press when attention spans are so short?
I was just curious about the Summit. Sorry to interrupt.
Her Holiness and Chairman Dumier are making a business deal. It may bring money, it may bring power, but it won't bring balance into the lives of ordinary people. If Her Holiness thinks she can put us all into a great pre-collapse wealth-making machine, she must think she's a god.
Holiness comes to Trier to make peace, and her gesture is answered with rioting.
Chairman Dumier of the WTO here. So you found that old fool, Traitor Dom. I would like to know what you are talking about. Please report to the Trier SSC station. It's at the end of the block, on your left as you enter the main square.
I heard that some of the striking workers broke into a meeting and kidnapped Her Holy...
Sorry. No access to the Black Gate without the proper clearance.
Is something going on?
Nah, it's just another part of the citywide lockdown, along with the curfews, to try to regain control after the riots broke out at Panzerworks.
How can I get the clearance to other parts of Trier?
Wish I could help. If you have a problem with the new policies, talk to someone at the SSC station across the square.
This is SSC headquarters for Trier.
You should never have jammed those actuators at Panzerworks and stolen that shipment of welders. Now you will pay. What do you want?
What's going on here?
We're about to show this guy what happens when you push Panzerworks too far. Keep walking.
What did he do to you?
The Order steals our equipment to make us shut down the assembly line. His church has been doing this for months, and we are sick of it.
If I give you guys some money, will you leave this guy alone?
What? Are you his girlfriend? Let's see the money. Okay then. I guess we can find someone else.
Just who do you think you are?
I'm glad we found an agreeable solution.
He is lucky.
Get lost before we change our minds.
Is this an act, or are you just out of your head?
Trier's just been a circus lately.
The Nine Worlds is...
So you want...
No.
Here you go.
Thanks for your...
After all this equipment is wrecked and stored in the name of preserving the natural order, I do not understand why the WTO would agree to a summit with these freaks.
guards have given you a key to the gate in the courtyard, but if you'd rather fight your way through a greasel nest, I guess I can't stop you.
challenge. I've done my duty.
Haven't we had
Paladins,
enough drills
engage.
already? What's that I hear?
I'll find the person responsible for this violent attack.
Payback time.
you Her Holiness? It's strange seeing you as just another person.
Yes, I'm just another ordinary human being like you. My name is Nicolette Duclair.
Chairman Dumier, the leader of your opposition, has taken a special interest in your safety.
The WTO wishes no harm to come to Her Holiness. This summit was to be an opportunity to soothe the tensions between our organizations and to root out the extremists causing trouble in Trier.
I'm impressed that you would protect the leader of your adversaries.
It's okay, Chief Morgan. We can tell her the truth.
The truth?
Alex, the WTO and Order are not as they seem. They are but different faces of the same organization, the Illuminati, an ancient secret society to which Chad and I are the heirs. My mother was the Illuminatus Beth Duclair. The WTO and Order are merely the tools Chad and I are presently using to elevate humanity to the next level.
I know, it's overwhelming. I've dedicated myself to the WTO only to find out it's just a myth they created.
If the WTO and Order aren't actually opposing entities, then what's the point of this summit?
The real opposition right now comes from the Templars, the militant anti-biomodification group. The summit was only a cover to justify our public presence in Trier. Our true goal was to investigate rumors of a Templar splinter cell within the Order.
And what did you find?
With the help of Agent Morgan, I learned that Lumenon Saman is the traitor. He has converted most of the Trier Shard to his extremist views, incited the riots, and has been stealing equipment from the Panzerworks factory.
Saman? He's behind this?
Yes, everything. My kidnapping, the disabling of the gate. He's taken a critical component from it, the sequencing module, to the Order Church in Rockstadt, where his group is headquartered. Once you get that module from him, you'll be able to use the gate.
Thank God she's all right. Good work. My people will secure the facility. In the meantime, we should follow up on what Her Holiness learned about Lumenon Saman. Go to the tavern and hire a pilot. If you would like a map of Saman's compound, report to the SSC station on your way across town.
Mr. Dumier sent me to safeguard Miss Duclair's return.
She's all yours.
Thank you. I will be assuming command of this facility. Your presence is no longer required. Report to Mr. Dumier.
Now that you know the WTO isn't what it seems, what are you going to do? Leave the organization?
I don't know. I'm still reeling from the shock. But somehow it's starting to make sense now.
Can you forgive them?
It does make me uneasy, finding out it's all a front. But I can also see what the Illuminati are trying to accomplish and why they must work in secret. I'll probably continue publicly working for the WTO, but with a new awareness of its true importance.
Leave me.
I don't know what I'll finally decide about the WTO, but it's hard to pass up a chance to play a role in such...
Report to Mr. Jimmy.
The WTO and Order are actually two branches of the same organization?
Precisely. We could never lead humanity as one monolithic force, at least not initially. The Illuminati have always worked in secret, and the WTO and Order are just two of our present facades.
But people dedicate their lives to these causes, and it turns out they're just your pawns?
Not at all. We are humankind's servants, not their puppeteers. We knew that human society could not respond to a single voice, so we engineered these organizations. With these fronts, we can optimally lead civilization toward a bright future.
Saman really is a Templar?
Unfortunately, yes. He has taken the Order's respect for nature and warped it into fanaticism. His quest for purity is just a euphemism for the extermination of modified individuals.
Surely the Illuminati can deal with a few crackpots.
Don't underestimate the Templars. Saman has amassed a great deal of support and resources for his cause.
When were you planning on telling the public about the WTO and Order connections?
When the time is right. Right now, the general populace simply isn't ready for this kind of information. At this stage, we're only telling select individuals in the higher echelons of each organization.
Then why are you confiding this in me?
Because you're an extraordinary creation, Alex. We've been watching your progress for a long time, waiting for this moment. We work in secret only because
That serves our purpose. Perhaps this is
Judgment
my
appears
destiny.
and your presence is no longer required.
I'm not amused.
Leave me.
I feel wounded.
Disruption.
Report to Mr. Jumier.
Oh, it's too much.
So, fail to appreciate the situation. Get your butt to the SSC station, now.
Your presence is no longer required. Leave me.
We work in secret only because it...
Your presence is no longer required.
Biological restoration in progress. Healing functions complete.
We find this confusing. Are you another of JC's gone bad? We do not like the last one's questions. She works with these intruders, and now she's gone through the gate to our home in Antarctica.
You must mean Billy and the Templars. I guess she's already passed through this way. Did she take any Templars with her?
No, just her. Only JC's can use the gate. Apostle Gore even had to bring this one the long way. That control was to keep us all safe. But now that woman has turned wrong.
What does Apostle Corps need creatures like you for?
We were a VersaLife experiment. Then JC came and helped us. This one is here, away from all the ice, to help with lab works. But then the Templars came.
I had nothing to do with the attack on this lab. I'm trying to get to JC myself. Can you tell me anything useful?
This one already told the other one from JC everything. Betrayal. This one was to be set free, but it was more lies and destruction. You must not betray. JC may be in danger already.
Repairing wounds. Tissue viability restored.
Go away. Take the intruders with you. We wanted just to be left alone. I miss the ice and the others.
Report to Mr. Jumier. Leave me.
I think these Templars are itching for a war.
Come on, Gene Trash.
Knock it off!
You're not getting away that easy. Section 040, threatening a police officer. That carries a pretty stiff sentence. I think he's dead.
I don't know where she is, but she better show up soon. The facility here is being raided by the Templars. So far, we're holding our own, but I don't know how much longer that will last. This may be my last transmission.
I think I... Welcome to your last moments.
Initiating repairs. Finished.
Just restored power to the experimental device on the lower level. Good, you're thinking ahead. But you'll have to come back later to bring it online. We don't know enough about it yet.
What's that? Is someone there? You will be That's a solid.
What the hell? Impressive work taking down that bot. Headquarters made it clear. No exceptions.
This is SSC headquarters for Trier.
If anybody screwed up today, it was us. Security.
The commander can answer your questions.
Tracking infrared disturbance. Anomaly threat identified.
Last chance, I mean it!
Just 1 minute. Let's earn ourselves a bonus.
Last chance, I mean it!
Tracking infrared disturbance. Threat.
What? I guess they'd want us to check this out.
Last chance, I mean it!
Let's earn ourselves a bonus.
We've got trouble.
This is enough. I'm leaving. I've got my eye on you.
Yes, you guys.
Admirable job at the gate. I figured they'd bring in a specialist.
Your followers haven't expelled you yet?
Word is leaking out that Her Holiness and I have been secretly working together. I think we can spin that into diplomatic ties.
Or private negotiations. How does that sound, darling?
No need for people to have the perception that we started these organizations for some other purpose.
Unless somebody tells them.
I could tell them myself. They would think it was the same old story. The Illuminati secretly controlling the world. Who? Some might believe it, but everybody else would laugh in my face.
People want to believe certain things about their leaders. That's always been our key to power.
You said you had a map of the Templar compound.
Yes, of course. Here you are. Find the sequencing module. Go through the gateway to JC's sanctuary. We have our own interest in protecting JC Denton from the Templars.
I would think that you and Apostle Corps would be bitter enemies.
We are, but first the clam must give up its pearl. Good luck, Special Agent Denton. We will call on you when the time comes. In case you need a pilot to take you to the compound, the Nine Worlds Tavern is a good place to hire one.
Don't forget about New Cairo.
That's right. I'd be meaning to tell you. Good work on the interrogation of Dr. Nassif in Cairo. My scientists just laughed at me when I said Apostle Corps had developed teleportation, but I appreciate the advance warning. I had my staff procure this extra biomode canister so that you might be a more effective operative.
Thanks. That was a pretty low trick you played on the world, taking advantage of the collapse to seize power and then deceiving people with a phony conflict between business and idealism.
No society is without this conflict. Our intention is to develop both principles and then integrate them into an open, secular society.
One puppeted by the Illuminati.
Our work has always done more good than harm. The collapse would have been far more devastating if Chad and I hadn't served the memory of my mother and of my family's history by rebuilding the Illuminati organization, which was nearly destroyed by MJ-12.
There was a time when we were the rebels. The older generation had failed us in so many ways. But now we see that the flaw was in their methods, not their intentions.
Their intention to disguise tyranny with so-called free institutions.
The average citizen in a society of billions is never free, whether because of tyranny or simply because of the contrast between his small size and the size of the government.
We plan to give people a sense of freedom and a prosperous world. In practical, historical terms, that's about as good as it gets.
Be there for us, Alex. The critical time is approaching. The old order is genuine.
You grew up in hard times, Alex. Don't let that make you into a cynic.
Looks like we have a fight on our hands.
I am authorized to use
Decide where you stand, Alex. It won't be long before you have to choose.
I heard that some of the striking workers broke into a meeting and kidnapped Her Holiness. The order. Tree-hugging fancies.
How is it going?
Hello.
That riot was started by the workers, not the order.
The workers. This is not the production.
I wonder.
But now they get nothing because
Hey,
the
watch where you're going.
Push them off schedule.
I can tell you what happened to your lawsuit.
Who are you? Some PR lady coming to talk me out of it? I will not give in. Pequod's runs ads on the public terminal right across the street from my shop. And they don't even have a branch in Trier.
Is that illegal?
It's false advertising if the product doesn't exist, right? I would like to know why the authorities are ignoring this situation.
Pequods and Queequegs are owned by the same people. It's one company. I saw the proof in the SSC evidence room.
I don't understand.
You're suing your own company, and the owners don't want the truth to come out in court.
You mean all of this, my business, the competition with Pequods, it's all some sort of fabrication?
Well, it's not unusual for a company to promote more than one brand of a product.
Unbelievable. They've deceived millions, hundreds of millions of people. We can't let them get away with this. Thank you. You saved me the hassle of hiring any more lawyers. I hope you'll accept a small reward.
I wouldn't stick my neck out if I was you. These are powerful people.
No. How can I knowingly work for an illegal monopoly?
If the parent company is WTO chartered, it probably isn't illegal.
So I just keep working here like nothing happened.
You're just one man. It's not wise to start a war before you know your enemy.
No wonder they fix prices at headquarters. They have a worldwide monopoly.
I have to live under curfew.
I heard that the summit has been delayed.
It must be private security for one of the factions.
Not exactly. Who wants to know?
Name's David Kurzek. These are dangerous times.
Is this a sales pitch? Why don't you get to the punchline?
I think we both know what we're talking about. I'm a representative of the Omar black market. I can arrange a meeting if you wish.
I didn't know the Omar employed non-cyborgs.
Normally I'm just a supplier, but with the summit happening, they need a rep who doesn't draw a lot of attention. Go to the abandoned Kuro shop above the Nine Worlds Tavern, a place called Derbilatenda Raba. I'll let the Omar know they should expect a customer.
So you're Mr. Kurzek. I met your partner, Mr. O'Rourke, in Seattle.
He's not my partner anymore. We ran arms for a while, but then the Omar made a better offer.
I heard that he wound up dead.
The Omar have a way of either absorbing or eliminating the competition. O'Rourke was dipping from the Emperor's well, or maybe I'd have brought him along. You're either on the team, or you're off the team. Know what I mean?
Sure.
The Omar moved into Trier a few months ago. I knew I had to adapt or get out of town.
Hi, I'm NG Resonance. Welcome, Alex D. Hey, you left New Cairo without seeing me perform.
Sorry, I had some business to take care of in Trier.
Just don't stand me up again. It's not very nice. So, you must be here for the summit.
Yeah, I'm working for the Order Church.
You don't strike me as the religious type.
It's a universal faith. You don't have to be religious to agree with the basic philosophy behind it.
Well, I'm just glad when one of my fans believes in something besides gossip and celebrities. Want to know what I think? I think there's nothing wrong with being a rich kid from a WTO enclave and still having some spirituality.
Exactly.
I think the world would be better off if people took the best things from both sides instead of always fighting over extremes. Hi, I'm NG Resonance. What would you like to talk about, Alex?
The Order and WTO are both puppets of the Illuminati.
Don't tell me you're one of those paranoid secret society types.
I'm telling the truth.
I can't believe you let someone lead you on like this. Who was it? I'll straighten them out for you.
I found out on my own.
You're scaring me, Alex. Be careful what you go around telling people. You might get yourself in trouble. Accusations of corruption are a serious matter, Alex.
The faithful will be rewarded.
Who would have pictured me toting a gun around for a living? The 9 worlds. So you. No.
Here you go.
Thanks for your.
I provide your business. Ah, yes. It appears DeusEx has found us another customer.
Yeah, he told me where to find you.
And the Amar are grateful to you for your help in avoiding the Templar raid in Cairo.
I did what I had to do.
You will appreciate our merchandise. You are a welcome customer, having helped us in the past.
What are you selling?
I have a black market biomod canister. Enables non-piezochem functionality. If you choose this item, we will direct you to a drop site for it after you have paid. Or you could take 3 scrambler grenades which produce viral electronic transmission that affect bots and temporarily switches their alliances. And I also have 5 multi-tools used to bypass security devices like keypads, cameras and turrets, and to pick locks. As a preferred customer, you may purchase items at half market price.
The black market biomod sounds like a deal. I'll take it.
The drop site is the Blackgate Ruins, West Tower, top floor, in an unmarked silver footlocker.
Got it.
An excellent exchange. Would you like to make
I'll take them all.
an excellent exchange?
I found Her Holiness. Turns out she's Nicolette Duclair, an Illuminatus.
Of course she is. That was my precise purpose in sending you to save her, so that you would believe me when I say that we face a great danger. The Illuminati have been very successful at reshaping the post-collapse world. Control of our technology would allow them to create a hand-picked ruling elite.
How can they simultaneously support the ideals of the Order and the commercialism of the WTO?
The Illuminati have always sought just one thing: centralization. Centralization of wealth, power, and ideology. The implementation details aren't important.
So they centralize wealth with the WTO, and ideology with the Order. What about power?
That they hope to get from us. Work with our charming co-conspirators just a little while longer. When you have the sequencing...
The whole reason I joined the Order was to get away from factory.
Ready to fly?
I need to go to the Rastatt area.
That's a pretty scabby part of town, mostly abandoned factories. The Order renovated the cathedral, but man, a lot of ways to end up dead in the Rastatt.
Precisely why I'm hiring you. You can handle a hostile insertion, right?
Handle it? Sid Black invented the term hostile insertion. I'll meet you outside the tavern.
Meanwhile, we have been accused of theft, which is...
Panzerworks finally reached their breaking point.
Got the thrusters cranked. This bird sings so loud now my head's ringing.
It's probably the beer. Sure you can fly?
Bosh, let's rip.
I'm ready.
Lovely. I already scouted the area. Get ready for a tight squeeze on the ground.